Welcome back to another great episode of Filter Out That Bull with Biz. I want to watch this video with Kamala Harris and Oprah Winfrey. I don't know. I don't know if this is the woman y'all want to vote for. Let's see if she can make it happen.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Everybody on screen, thank you. Thanks for joining us for this very special event, Unite for America!
Y'all go check out Dirty Harvard Music, DIRTYHARVARD, Dirty Harvard, on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff.
And that's exactly what we're doing live tonight, uniting from Farmington Hills in Oakland County, Michigan. And I am here because I care deeply about the future of our country. And I know that all of you do too. You care about the future of our country. And we just saw on this tape this grassroots, people-powered movement behind Kamala Harris has unleashed a unifying force unlike anything we've seen in politics in a very long time.
Oprah and Trump, they used to be real cool. Like, what happened? In the entertainment world, we see people act like this, we like, oh yeah, they fake. Like, it's always the people who pay money into these people that be really backing these people up. Because, like, why would you be paying so much money into these people if you don't have no policies that or benefits to this?
I know lots of people are feeling it because it actually is hope and joy rising. And there's been a, can you feel it? You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. We can feel it. We can feel it. You can feel it.
You get a call, you get a call, you get a call.
There's been so much talk about that word joy, and I think it's such a good thing because it means that there is a real feeling of optimism and hope, making that comeback, as Michelle Obama said, for this new day that's no longer on the horizon. The new day is actually here.
You took out a full-page ad in major U.S. newspapers last year criticizing U.S. foreign policy. What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
Still sound like the Trump we see today. Like, that literally sounds like the same guy. Whoa, guess what I found? Who is that? Hey. Oh, that's her with Trump. Oh, okay. What happened? Why you don't like Trump no more? Hey, I got another one for you. Miss Winfrey, Miss Color Purple. I'm just pulling pictures up on you and Donald, girl. Y'all was kicking it. I'm just saying, I want to know what changed. Was it that you're giving money to the Democratic Party, baby? Is it that you're giving money to the Democratic Party? Here, I found another one for y'all. Look at that. You see that? Why? What happened? Oh, snap. Miss Winfrey, what happened about this, Miss Winfrey? On you and Mr. Trump. Check this out, Miss Lady. Check. Trump once received letter from Oprah saying they'd make a great political team. It says a letter authentically shows Oprah Winfrey wrote to Donald Trump in 2000 and said, "Too bad we're not running for office. What a team." Oprah Winfrey made a surprising appearance in the support of U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, the now Democratic nominee for president. This is quoted by her. "Now there, certain candidate that says if we just go to the polls this one time, that we'll never do it or have to do it again," she said to the crowd, in a jab at the Republican nominee, Donald Trump. Trump War Room posted what appears to be a letter dated January 11, 2000, from Winfrey to Trump. It's some things to try to little bit. I can't understand that damn writing. Tell you. Okay, so this is it. I'm sorry. Donald, I received the book excerpt. I have to tell you, your comments made me a little weepy. It's one thing to try and live a life of integrity, still another to have people like yourself notice. Thank you, Oprah. Too bad we're not running for office. What a team. Well, damn it, Miss Lady. I'm just saying that could have been really her baby daddy.
Republicans for Harris love that group even more.
I bet you do. I bet you do love that group.
I see some faces I recognize. There's Brian Cranston.
We like this guy. Black people like this guy. Man, really. You have a lot of men in this world that are like, hey, I can see the change in life and I want to be a part of that change. And I believe we deserve a female president. And I'm not taking nothing from a female president and that belief in that system. I think it's cool. You know what? I think these cats are big donors.
Chris, where are you? Chris Rock, Jennifer Lopez, Tracy Ellis Ross.
I've always been a fan of Kamala, even back when she was running for. I remember writing her a check when she was like the district attorney for something. Maybe it was the.
Clearly.
I've always been a fan of Kamala, even back when she was running for. I remember writing her a check when she was like the district attorney for something to get out of a parking ticket or something. But I've been writing her checks for a long time.
Do you freaking see what I said earlier? You have somebody get in office? President?
I want to bring my daughters to the White House to meet this black woman president.
Wow.
That's a reason.
I think she would make a great president. And I'm ready to turn the page, man.
Yeah.
All the hate, the negativity, it's got to stop.
Yeah, we're so sick of the negativity.
Mexico has their first female president. Mexican President-elect Claudia Sheinbaum has declined an invitation from Ukrainian President Zelensky to visit Ukraine, reaffirming Mexico's commitment to stand neutral in international conflict. You get what I mean? Like she's like, nah, I ain't in it. Zelensky had extended the invitation, hoping for an official Mexican visit to witness the effects of Russia invasion. So Zelensky over here playing the dog game. He trying to he trying to get in her ear. Hey, look, we could use your help. You know what I mean? Mexico. Sheinbaum. I said that wrong. Sheinbaum, who turned down a ninja. She turned him down. It's Sheinbaum.
Kamala Harris.
They ain't got Beyonce. Ain't got Beyonce's. You ain't got Beyonce though. You ain't. But you got her music. We got her music though.
So welcome to hello, Madam Vice President. Hello. I have to say this because in all of my private conversations, Gail, and I've said this 100 times, and everybody is saying it. You all have said it. I know you have. It seems to us that something happened to you the moment President Biden, stepped aside and withdrew his candidacy. That a veil or something dropped, and you just stepped into your power.
Are you sure?
I mean, literally, looking at you at a speech like the week before, which was a great speech, very nice. And then the next week, I saw you walking in the thing. And I said, what happened to you?
You know, we each have those moments in our lives where it's time to step up.
You've led the vice presidential and presidential debate prep for figures such as President Barack Obama, Vice President Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton. And in an article with Politico, which I have right here, you and your partner Ron Klain were named two of the most experienced debate prep specialists in Democratic politics.
I mean, it's possible that we're the leading people because nobody else wants to do it.
Kate Bog, this is where I found this video.
The next week, I saw you walking in the thing. And I said, what happened to you?
You know, we each have those moments in our lives where it's time to step up.
Time to step up.
Time to step up, you know?
Well, the moment you heard, I mean, I really have been saying to people, it felt like a veil dropped and you sort of stepped through that veil. Did that actually, did you feel like that?
I felt a sense of responsibility, to be honest with you. And with that comes a sense of purpose. But I mean, we're all here and you all are taking time out of your busy lives, everyone here, everyone on the screen, because my career as a prosecutor, I never looked at a victim or a witness and asked them, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them is, are you okay?
Are you okay? I know when I heard that.
You know?
Touch me.
And traveling this country and knowing what is at stake in terms of fundamental freedoms, what's at stake in terms of fighting against hate and those efforts to divide us. And I do know that I'm in a position to do something about it. So I felt a great responsibility. And the incredible power of the people, right? Who, you know, I'm not the only leader in this. We're all leaders in this. This is so much bigger than me. It's about who we are as Americans. And it's about making clear what we stand for. And what we stand for is, it is about the ideals upon which we were founded, including the importance of freedom and the importance of independence and the importance of dignity and purpose. But it is also about what we stand for in terms of our values. I think of it this way.
A lot boils down to values. I just said values are on the line here.
It does. I mean, think about it, Oprah. The idea that some would suggest, and that my opponent it suggests, which is that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down. Come on. The real measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. And it's important for us.
You know, I can agree with that.
You know, ever since the debate, we feel for our fellow citizens in Springfield. Do you not think about the fellow citizens in Springfield, Ohio, the Haitian families, the non-Haitian families, everybody having to deal with this lie that has endangered the lives of Haitian people and anybody who looks Haitian? Everybody in America feels for that. And everybody in America, left, right, middle, has concerns about immigration.
How do you currently feel about what's been going on in the news pertaining to Springfield? About, you know, the communities being divided as far as the immigrants is going on. How do you personally feel?
Me personally, like I don't know none. Like I haven't really talked to any of them, met none of them.
Okay.
I see they getting jobs, getting houses and cars. They might not be driving that good, but they seem like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Really.
Do you think that? Do you understand the issues that people may have with it? Because a lot of people are saying that they're losing their homes, and the Haitians are coming in and taking their homes over, and they're homeless, and the Haitian people are getting more privileged than they are. Do you see? Can you see that, or do you feel like everything is being blown out of proportion?
Maybe out of proportion a little bit. I mean, they're taking advantage of the opportunity. It's just like a different heritage. I mean, different culture with them. Like I ain't never seen nothing about myself.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I heard some of it was like footage from not even around here.
Somebody to say Haitian people are eating your cats, dogs, and ducks. Doesn't that sound crazy? That when you first heard it, did you keep it real? You laughed? Did you get your laugh off? You like, oh, that's funny?
I mean, it sounds crazy to us, but like to them, it's like that's the norm, you know.
To who?
To the Haitians.
That's messed up. This is Flip. If you've seen him on Joe Budden. He's a comedian. He's very funny, and he's also have Haitian. Now, being a musician, I toured across the country, and I've seen a lot of these people, and a lot of times they kind of know proximity, what's around them. I don't want to say it that way, but I'm filtering out the bull.
Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest.
They gotta like learn, or what goes on around here. We can be.
So you think they're eating the ducks? You think they're eating the cats and dogs and ducks? Honestly, don't change it.
I haven't like seen it personally, but
do you believe the story?
I don't see why. I mean, if I was, came up that way and seen.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm half Haitian, right? And I'm saying I haven't been to Haiti. I've been to Haiti years ago when I was helping with the hurricane, with the earthquake. But I didn't see that. I didn't hear that. I never heard that. So this is new to me, and people are coming around and they explain. They're saying the same thing you saying, that this is where they come from. I never seen it. So do you think it's online you get information, or you might have saw it, like, hey, I saw this firsthand, or I might have saw a picture of a guy holding a geese, you know what I mean?
I never seen it myself. I seen it on like one of the headline news.
Got it. But let me ask you a question though, and I want you to be, because you seem like you're a smart guy. Let's say a lot of food stamps. I heard a lady say they get like $5,000 in food stamps, and they getting $3,000 vouchers. $3,000 vouchers. Why would they need to eat the animals if they could just go buy the food?
That is a point. That is totally facts.
Throwing trash in my front yard, and I can't. Look at me. I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, "Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move." He said, "We can't do this anymore." He said, "It's killing both of us mentally." I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status and you're protecting them. And I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed. But who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay.
You guys are just sitting up there and something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight. FaceTime me this morning at the welfare office that really need, and it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, and it's going to get bigger and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of $1,000s. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is.
So that's where all this started.
That's the way they came up. But that, I mean, it's not right. I don't think it's right. It's just they gotta realize like that don't go on like that around here.
Are any of your peoples, your friends, anybody from the community, are any of them upset about the Haitians being here? Honestly speaking.
No, I got a buddy that lives right across the street from him, and he said they're cool. You know? They keep an eye on each other's house, and they said they was cool. I ain't never talked to none. First, I just see them. They getting jobs. They're working. I just take it like they're taking advantage of the opportunity, just like anybody else should.
Have you had a job up here? Are you from Springfield?
Yeah.
You used to work, or you work?
Nah, I'm not working right now. I just got out.
Jail?
Yeah.
How long you was in there for?
I did a year.
When you need people to work and they decide not to work, and they're born in this country with all the benefits to what this country gives, and you see the people of power see that, well, since the time of 10, 15 years, these immigrants have been coming through and making things happen. So now you look at majority of Americans in and out of prison can't get right. And it's like we get upset when we see others come here and they starting to make dollars on. Do I think it's right to favor others over the citizens of that's born in this country. No.
Having to deal with this lie that has endangered the lives of Haitian people and anybody who looks Haitian. Everybody in America feels for that. And everybody in America, left, right, middle, has concerns about immigration.
Yeah.
And I'm told that Justin, where are you in the audience? Justin.
Hello.
In our audience.
Hello, Madam Vice President.
You live in Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't love saying hello, Madam Vice President.
I do.
What's your question? It's an immigration question.
My question for you is, when you become president, what would be your specific steps? Yeah, of course. What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
Oh, this where they messed up. This way you messed up, asking the questions.
When you become president, what would be your specific steps? Yeah, of course. What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
So it's a wonderful and important question. My background was as a prosecutor, and I was also the elected attorney general for 2 terms of a border state. So this is not a theoretical issue for me. This is something I've actually worked on.
Okay.
I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings.
Well, she look
I
like
take
Obama.
very seriously the importance of having a secure border and ensuring the safety of the American people. Sadly, where we are now can be traced most recently back to the fact that when the United States Congress, members of the Congress, including some of the most conservative Republicans, came up with a border security bill. And here's what that border security bill would have done. It would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border. Let me tell you, those border agents are working around the clock. It would have just been about giving them some support and relief, which is probably why the border agents actually endorsed the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl. And I'm looking at people from all over the country here. So I don't need to tell the folks who are watching this what fentanyl has done to families, to kids in our country, and the need to take seriously stemming the flow coming into our country and addressing that extraordinary.
Why that sound like Trump? Trump said that.
Human beings. I take very seriously the importance of having a secure border and ensuring the safety of the American people.
How?
Sadly, where we are now can be traced most recently back to the fact that when the United States Congress, members of the Congress, including some of the most conservative Republicans, came up with a border security bill. And here's what that border security bill would have done. It would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border. Let me tell you, those border agents are working around the clock. It would have just been about giving them some support and relief, which is probably why the border agents actually endorsed the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl. And I'm looking at people from all over the country here.
Stem the flow of fentanyl.
So I don't need to tell the folks who are watching this what fentanyl has done to families, to kids in our country, and the need to take seriously stemming the flow coming into our country and addressing that extraordinary and tragic issue in terms of its effect. The bill would have allowed us to have more resources to prosecute transnational criminal organizations. And it would have been part of the solution. And Donald Trump called up those folks and said, don't put that bill on the floor for a vote. He blocked the bill, and you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
It wasn't her job to protect the border. So this is what Kamala Harris' job at the border. Also, this was made out on the 24th, 2021. It says, whereas on March 24th, 2021, President Biden tasked, that means past tense, Vice President Harris with working to address illegal immigration into the United States, including root causes and came to be known, y'all can do that, as Biden administration borders are. All right, so let's go down here. I just want to go down here. Under borders are Harris leadership, multiple illegal aliens with terrorist ties have been released into the U.S. Under the borders are Harris leadership. Some of y'all don't like to read. I mean, why do that? Well, why do they do that? Kamala is great. Kamala this, Kamala that. All right, cool. Well, let's see what she's costing the taxpayers of America. $1,100, people. Each year, each taxpayer, that means each person that's getting taxed out of their mother check, who has a job, you getting taxed, you are paying $1,100 towards the immigration causes, right? On the border crisis. Total at $150.7 billion each year. Costs taxpayers $1,100. That's $1,156 each year. Dollars. All right. So I kept reading this thing, and I wanted to go down here. Okay, it says, whereas in April 2024, Republicans on the House Committee on Homeland Security released documents showing the Biden administration under Bordazar Harris flew at least 400,000 illegal immigrants into the country through the abuse of parole programs. I'm not voting for a person just because they look like me. You're not like us. You're not like us. You're not like us. Sometimes y'all don't agree with that because y'all want to see a black woman on top. But this has shit to do with her being black. Even that's questionable. But this has nothing to do with her being black. Busloads of migrants dropped off near Kamala's house on Christmas Eve. Right? So you guys can see this was 2 years ago reported. This is the fact sheet, the collaboration migrant management strategy. The migrant strategy includes the following. Let me blow this up for you guys. The migrant crisis includes the following. Stabilize population with acute needs, expand access to international protection, improve and expand temporary labor programs in the region with workers' protection. Okay. Expand access to lawful pathways for protection and opportunities to the U.S.
1,000 migrants to arrive in the city ahead of the DNC after Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent this message to Democrat leaders.
I took the border to them. I began busing illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C.
The government is basically saying your time is up, niggas, and the Latinos are the new blacks.
What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
So it's a wonderful and important question. You know, my background was as a prosecutor, and I was also the elected attorney general for 2 terms of a border state. So this is not a theoretical issue for me. This is something I've actually worked on. Okay. I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I take very seriously the importance of having a secure border and ensuring the safety of the American people. And ensuring the safety of the American people. Sadly, where we are now can be traced most recently back to the fact that when the United States Congress, members of the Congress, including some of the most conservative Republicans, came up with a border security bill. And here's what that border security bill would have done. It would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border. Let me tell you, those border agents are working around the clock. It would have just been about giving them some support and relief, which is probably why the border agents actually endorsed the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl. And I'm looking at people from all over the country here. So I don't need to tell the folks who are watching this what fentanyl has done to families, to kids in our country and the need to take seriously stemming the flow coming into our country and addressing that extraordinary and tragic issue in terms of its effect. The bill would have allowed us to have more resources to prosecute transnational criminal organizations. And it would have been part of the solution. And Donald Trump called up those folks and said, don't put that bill on the floor for a vote. He blocked the bill, and you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And he has put...
I guess I'm delusional. I guess I must be like really out of it. I don't get it.
Put his personal political security before border security. Because understand, even in the intervening months, what that bill would have done to give support to folks who care about this issue. And this again gets to the point about what does leadership really look like? And is it about you or is it about the people? Right. Is it about running on problems or fixing problems? My work and my career has always been about saying, let's fix problems. Let's address the needs because we know it's within our capacity to do that.
So to answer Justin's question, now that that bill has gone and hasn't passed, will you reintroduce that?
Absolutely. And when I am elected president of the United States, I will make sure that bill gets to my desk and I will sign it into law.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
Listen to this.
I wanted to go through in silence, but I realized that it was selfish. I want y'all to know Amber was not a statistic. She was loved by a family, a strong family. And we would have done whatever to get my baby, our baby, the help that she needed. When ProPublica came to my home, I pushed them away. No, but Kavithia, she was persistent. She said, it was something that you needed to know. You have to hear me. Women around the world, people around the world need to know that this was preventable. 2 years later, after speaking with my daughters, because I lost strength, I lost hope.
What happened to her?
You're looking at a mother that is broken to get my baby.
Amber's condition deteriorated quickly. A strict abortion ban had recently taken place in her home state of Georgia, which caused Amber to travel to North Carolina for the procedure. Traffic made her miss the appointment, so the clinic gave her medication, what are known as abortion pills. Once back home, Amber experienced profuse bleeding, vomiting, severe pain. She eventually passed out.
Oh, man, she was getting it. She was out there doing her thing. She wasn't trying to get pregnant. Hell no. She was out there getting it. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying.
Boyfriend called for an ambulance. At the Georgia hospital, Amber's condition deteriorated quickly. In a rare occurrence, it was discovered her body had not expelled all the fetal tissue and an infection was spreading. Official Georgia State medical expert analysis of her case says Amber should have received a life-saving D&C, but doctors waited 20 hours before deciding to take her to surgery. Amber's blood pressure had taken a dive. Her organs had started.
Hold on, but why would they? I'm sorry. Look, to Amber's family, I want to send my condolences. And I send blessings to her and her baby boy. But I want to know why they waited that long. Doctors shouldn't have waited that long to take it. That was kind of long. And then to blame that on one man like Trump, I think that's kind of wrong too, because he never was against the abortions. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. He was never against that word. You know, he was just saying let it be up to the state. But I guess that's bad, right? Oh, not making this better. Damn.
Started failing. In the operating room, her heart stopped. On the way to surgery, Amber's last words to her mother were, "Promise me you'll take care of my son."
Amber's mother, Shanette, an older sister,
seems very apparent.
Even when the mother's life is in danger.
See, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. So is she on death's door before you actually decide to give her help?
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
Is that
That's
what we're saying?
Yeah.
And save her, but they failed her.
Well, I think the most powerful thing that you've said here, Ms. Shanette, is that your daughter is not a statistic. She had a life. She was loved by her sisters.
That word keeps coming to her.
Mm-hmm.
And this story is a story that is sadly not the only story of what has been happening since these bans have taken place. And, you know, so just to step back in terms of how we got here, the former president chose 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would overdo the protections of Roe v. Wade.
Mm-hmm.
And they did as he intended, and in state after state, including yours, these abortion bans have been passed that criminalize healthcare providers. In a couple of states, prison for life, Oprah. Prison for life in a couple of states for a doctor or a nurse who provides healthcare. And so it seems very apparent.
Even when the mother's life is in danger.
But see, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. So is she on death's door before you actually decide to give her help?
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
Is that
That's
what we're saying?
Yeah. That you've got to prove you're on death's door.
Like literally a doctor or a nurse has to say, she might die any minute, better give her now care.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise I might go to prison for life in some cases.
Mm.
Think about what we're doing in terms of saying that certain people who are in these state houses, and then starting with the former president of the United States, think they're in a better position than a doctor or a nurse to determine when their patient needs medical care. This literally, and Amber's story highlights the fact that among everything that is wrong with these bans and what has happened in terms of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, it's a healthcare crisis.